a raft of things there, and I'm sure that he could put, 1,000 more in there. And I put to him the question about the people who will be asked to go to the poll in short order. Should they have this in their mind and punish the government for it? Because certainly we have seen where the environment have suffered. And let us remind Jamaican that the first Minister of Environment that we have ever had in this country was basically appointed by former Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller, with direct minister responsible for it. It was always somewhere there or thereabout, but it was basically given permanence by Portia Simpson Miller. All right? So, Deacon Dispute, we're having an issue in reconnecting you. If you're hearing us, you could and you're able to, could you call us back? All right, and 212-9824, the same number that you were on just now. If you're in an area that you can hear us, as the producer tried to see if she can reconnect with Deacon Dispute. We started a very, very interesting discussion, and we were just segueing into the other aspect of our discussion with Peter Dispute. Don't know what went awry there, but let's see. All right, so we're also streaming live on the Conrad OB TikTok page. You can go there, give me some top up, and give us some likes there. Let me just share this message with you in the interim here. And good morning to Sonia. She's over there in Canada, and she has sent us this message. She's saying that, can you ask Marlon if it's not a protest, which people is he asking to wear blue and to wear blue? All right, so that's coming from Sonia there. What people is he asking to wear blue? And the police is there to uphold the law if they perform their duties using illegal procedure, and they are using illegal procedure. Are they not breaking the law and must be subject to the same punishment as the civilian who break the law? Yes. A caller? All right, let's go to the call. Sorry about that. Don't know what is the situation. We'll try to place back the call to Deacon Dispute. It's going straight to his voice note. All right, caller, go ahead.
Yes, Obi. Quickly, after I come back. You want me to show you the level of hypocrisy where we have with these people? Marlon is a lawmaker, and he might shut out his mouth. The same digger when come out with supporting the police. Now, the police supposed to get some overtime money, right? Because nobody now got come out and play hypocrite. The police working hard. Because let me tell you, we know criminal out there. We know that.
Yes.
You understand me? We know that.
Without a doubt.
Yes, we know that the criminal them out there. But when the police them to get their money, we not hear the same vim, vigor, and vitality. Him a lawmaker. Him is a senator. Why not going to the senator and fight
in the Senate,
now?
Yeah?
Fight for the police in the Senate. Why him not going to the senator and fight for the police get what money owed to them? Why not? Why silent? And
very good, Marshall.
Yes.
And I think every woman in Jamaica who basically have a police husband or boyfriend must be happy with what you're saying, and they should join in that call. And Marlon, when are we going to hear you or see us? The Senate will be kept or be held and Friday coming. Are you prepared to take a private member's motion to the Senate and basically raise it and put some pressure on the government to basically deal with the police in terms of their outstanding things that they're complaining about, the lack of payment for their overtime and all of those sort of things? And
in addition to that, the same people who are here attack now, anytime the police take a stand to get their salary, you hear the PNP them when I police force do it. You always hear that, you know, at the police, them and you know, say them a PNP from long time and anything. Anytime them forget their money, what happened to the police, man and women? Money, what happened to it? Them can't get paid. Sometimes they might get paid nowadays and they pay short. Where them people there? Where activists like O'Brien Changda, where them if they come out and speak for the police? Where are they now?
No man, they don't find favor with this. These are not people who are capable of criticizing anything to do with a party that they're supporting. I thank God nobody can accuse me of being that way. Because I remember come under fire or being questioned by people who support the PNP to say, listen, Conrad, how you go so hard? But that's how it is. It's the lay of the land. And let us remind Jamaicans here at home and abroad, Marsha, it's one government at a time. The opposition, the PNP opposition now, they don't have control over the country's purse. It is Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party. When Mark Golden get there, we will put him under the spotlight.
And right now, with the extradition killing that taking place in the police force, I think the opposition is too silent for my liking. They are too silent. There's something that they should speak out about.
Let's put it this way. Let's say the high number of police killing. The high number of police killing.
And not the killing alone. There are some little things that going on, like the man where they carrying a Maypen police station and chill on and give the man some ratty thump, you know, man. The commissioner not saying nothing.
And also, Marsh, one second.
I want to come there. I have to play a Marlon role for you this time. When they carry the man at the station and thump him up, the Prime Minister not say nothing. The Commissioner of Police not say nothing. The Minister of National Security not say nothing. And the people them in the PNP don't say anything neither.
And hear what happened. Let us also say it, and you know, I probably stand out as a sore thumb. I really don't know that I hear this. And mainstream media, we have seen where other video have been out there, and it get layer and layer of coverage in mainstream media, form part of discussion and so on. I don't hear it being out there in mainstream media either.
Well, when you say that, it leads me back to something.
I don't hear the RJR and the Nationwide and the whatever take up these things. I don't hear them.
Mark Golden went away, and Mark Golden said the media had been buy out. Me understand when I talk, because something when we should have hear in a mainstream media, me not hear them talk that for social media.
And let me call on Mr. Walker, who is head of news at TVJ RJR. You don't hear this, you don't see that video that is going around where the police officer beating the middle-aged gentleman there to almost to a pulp down there in Clarendon.
Yeah, and this is what you want to get up and come tell me now, so support the
and
police.
I'm also calling out my other friend at CVM.
Yes.
Ruan. Right?
I am in support.
Ruan Daily. They don't see it.
I want to make this plain and straight.
Yes.
I am in support of the police, but not their wrongdoing. I will not support the police wrongdoing. And the criminal may not need to talk about them anymore, because me say some of them were there on us, not supposed to be alive. But me not go support wrongdoing, Mr. Police.
Yes.
Me not go do it. I'm sorry. Mr. and Miss Police. Them deal with the police some kind of way when they come around to their salary. You know what them do? You know one of the biggest insults the current government had done to the police force? They take up one man from the incubator at Bradley Avenue and take him, carry me in a district constable, and then all of a sudden Messina superintendent.
All right, Marshall, have to leave you on that note.
Police did a fight crime all the while. Him come and over for them, now them have to salute him. That is hypocrisy. Talk about that, Brian Chang.
All right, Marshall. Thanks a lot. Have to go to the 10:30 break. So come. Just now I mentioned that I certainly have not heard it from those news outfit that I talk about. CVM or TVJ, I've not heard it. And I'm saying that in the past, we have seen where video have circulated, gone out there viral, and it is picked up by these outfit. I call two names because as far as I'm concerned, these are two senior people within the both operations. Ron Daly, he's a senior person at CVM, and Milton Walker, he's the head of news at Television Jamaica. So I'm saying that I would like to hear and see them take up interest in. I'm very concerned. It could be me driving through any town and I'm taking out and basically being treated the way that that gentleman was treated. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, welcome caller.
Morning, Conrad.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
My phone card dear, you know?
Yeah, man, sorry about that, but you know, it's important. Good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, give thanks, man, give thanks.
You see, Africa, we have to be concerned.
It's
not when things reach our doorstep alone we must be concerned. We must be concerned before that. And that is one of the things that plague us as a people, plague Jamaica as a country. Too many of us don't see when anything happens to our neighbors.
Watch out now, no?
Go ahead, sir.
Make them go and set up the police and go against the people, them, man. And things are good thing them are doing here. And the police, them, for no say, it's not them, the people them are demonstrate against now. It's the government. Some don't know how it come to be the police and the people. Eh?
Yeah, because you're making an interesting point. Because what is the major question in all of this, you know? It is not the police to solve this problem, it is the government, because what happened, it is by outfitting the police with body cameras that will basically solve the problem. That is it. So you're making a very important point there, Africa.
Yes, when I hear the training what them give the police, eh? And then I no come now and I line up the people them against the police. What kind of state that? Eh? Hey, make a tell Marlon Morgan, you see that line there where you push there? He's a fight here, man.
And he's an frolic of his own. I don't even know how many people in his own party supporting him. With his nonsense.
I don't know the support him I get over there, but I want to tell him, say, he's off for the line there. Don't set up the people against the police, brethren. It's the government is the problem.
Yes.
The police is a part of the state. I work for the people. So when you come and talk about who for wear blue and who for wear blue and who for wear, brethren, look off of them something, them, man.
It is pitching the state, the people against the police.
Allow
Jamaican for Justice to have their protests. If you want to say down the road, you could always say, listen, we're happy with what we're seeing. We think the policemen and women are working hard. They could even say, listen, let us have a fun day somewhere to basically treat our police officers. And that would be a different story. But when you come now and you're pitching this, you're pitching the police against a human rights body, what are you doing?
Make me tell you something, the human rights body is a worldwide organization, you know. Do you know that?
I'm very much aware, sir.
Yes. So what them a do there? It a go have a repercussion. Did you know that?
Repercussion, yes.
Yes. And me not tell a lie, they're not gonna like what them are gonna get from these people in this world organization, you know. That me I tell you.
Amnesty International.
Yes. Oh, you feel the people them are demonstrating and come and talk about people who wear blue. Who for going to Africa go wear blue side problem? Huh? Who want to do that? So at the JLP them must set up against the human rights organization.
Talk Africa, listen.
Marlon, stop that something there, man. Stop that something there, brethren. You're a black man, you know. You're African, you know. I wonder if you know say you're African like we too. Eh? A man dead in a Grand Spell last night, you know. Police kill him, you know.
Another one?
Yes. Let me hear. Him don't even wake up. Ain't at the year him don't even wake up yet.
Well, if he's dead, he can't wake up.
The man asleep in bed, brethren. And hey, I tell you, brethren.
Someone who is known to you?
Yeah, yes, I am named Bird.
Is he, you know him to be a violence producer, as they like to describe?
No, he's a site worker and work on site. He got prison one time and he come out long time now. And he work on site, so I don't know if he mean no gang thing.
Well, there you have it again, Africa. The same things that we are talking about. Because in truth and in fact, if the border cameras were there, the question that you are even asking this morning, we wouldn't have to be asking these questions.
That's what I talk about. You can't get to how the youth dead and what make them kill and what make them kill. Not like that. You're going to hear murder and if it done this so. Eh? Murder and if it done this so. How much white people no can't kill and talk about it done this so?
All right,
eh?
all right, African. We don't want anybody at all, whether you're white, blue, black, or pink, or purple.
Conrad, I hear me now. A black people them are killing them.
Yeah, man. But I'm saying that we don't want anybody to be, you know.
Yes, same like how you line up the police against the people. Them, Brethren, you hear me now, Conrad. Them are do something and we know for do nothing. Eh?
All right.
Take it to.
All right.
You hear me now, Conrad. You hear me now. You see that country?
Yes.
Eh?
Talk to me.
This country, we have an environment problem.
Yes, we do.
And them now done none to fix that.
That's true.
And
that's why I'm so saddened that we lost Deacon SP because he was driving home some point there.
When the people and pies have the fish in the river and the people and live around the river can't get the fish to eat. Nobody no business with that. You hear that? Eh? And then this place, all they can do at this place, people from which part then the Belgian. Eh? You can't go on a beach that this place meant for black people around here, you know. What if you know that? Eh?
Yeah, man.
Who help the people upon that? The Jamaicans for justice, if we talk for the people, them can't talk for them again. They say, yes, so them are PNP and them are this and them are that. Eh? Who about defend the people, them?
Africa, I'm allowing you to talk because these voices like yours need to go out there and let people understand.
Yeah, hear me now? Right now, me I tell you, say, some people have one seat for winning, you know.
All right, my friend.
The line where them a push. Since we so fool and we don't no sense, wait till election call, man. That me I tell you, you know.
All right, my brother.
What kind of line you not push against we? We don't even live nowhere. We have a house problem in Jamaica and you take out the money and do what you want to do with it. Eh? I ain't arguing a house, I promise so much mix house, and how much you get. Eh?
The people are listening, Africa. You're listening, the other people are listening.
I promise with thousands of houses, which one the people live now? How much people live on the street? How much people live in a rent house? Can't pay rent. Can't buy food for eat, my brethren. The World Health Organization put out 50% of the people are malnourished in Jamaica. I don't know nothing about that.
Hold on, Africa. Let me just editorialize a bit here with your commentary. Those who have ears to hear, let them hear. Africa is someone who people would describe as a ordinary man out there. You hear what I'm saying? The ordinary folks that some of us tend to underestimate and believe that they are not watching, they are not reading the tea leaves. Just listen to what Africa just said. He spoke volume, and these are some of the things that are reverberating throughout the society. Thanks a lot, Africa.
We don't take our rights, you know. Them people that take our rights, you know, Conrad. Then take our rights already. So anything reach you know, that a go on, you know. Anything can reach you, you know. And that a system and a government, you know. You know, hear me now? Conrad, it's
Yes.
good to be here, yeah?
All right, my friend. Take care and keep safe, you know. Keep safe. Keep safe. All right? Good, good. All right, so we're seeing a lot of expression coming in from it to invite calls. I can't invite you on because remember now that we are broadcasting mainstream. But what you can do, you can call in. The numbers again are 876-212-9824, 876-462-0919. All right? And Paul Hunter is saying, I wish he could continue as all he's doing is hurt his party more and more. And is there referring to Mr. Morgan. All right? And what is this? Curious One or Cautious One is saying, good morning, Conrad. Good morning to you. Derek is saying that is liking the live and so on. And also Abo is saying, I'm calling in the WhatsApp number. Oh yeah, let's see if we can take this call. Hello, caller.
Hello, good morning, Sir Conrad.
Good morning. Good morning. Country. How are you
Good
doing?
morning to Jamaica. I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Madam Producer,
Yes,
just both numbers are both WhatsApp numbers are both we can take numbers and both WhatsApp call and both numbers on the one. Which of them again, please? The two of them? All right, yes, we can take WhatsApp call and the two numbers. So I don't know, but remember, my callers, you have to basically call. Sometimes you call in, there are other persons on the line, the same line. So you just have to exercise a bit of patience there, all right? Sorry about that, country. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. I'm saying sometime last week on the news, there was a shooting in the West Kingston area. Some police got shot up in the arm and such. And you don't hear nothing about that. Nowhere on the news, I searched the news, I couldn't hear nothing that any man have been round up, any perpetrator have been captured or what. So I'm just wondering what's going on. And the news said that it was some men with high-powered weapon at a party. And because it is in West Kingston, nothing. You can't hear nothing.
So maybe we need to call and Senator to, since he's a part of the heart of those areas. Maybe we need, Marlon, can you give us an update on that shooting that police officers were shot down there in the Western Kingston area? And certainly we condemn that. We condemn that because we don't want our police officer to be shot at by anybody at all or any community, right? Jamaica.
But as you know, West Kingston is a safe haven for criminality, you know?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, and I am saying this morning that it is wrong and I am very disturbed. Fontana Pharmacy and its chain and its group, I believe Jamaicans should be boycotting that pharmacy. Well-thinking Jamaican. Right. And I am saying the rights of our citizens, the citizens need to know their rights. No police should take away your phone and search it. It is against your fundamental right. And
because we saw what had happened. We saw what had happened in Montego Bay there with the lady that her son was murdered. It's in the court now, so we're not going to get into it. But we saw the tedious process that they had to went through, the application and so on, in order for her to hand over her phone. So why you believe that you're supposed to treat the average man in a different way? Country, I'm going to beg you, please, if anything you can come back. We got back Deacon Espute. He is on hold, and I just want to conclude the discussion with him, please. All right? God bless you. Thanks. All right, so country basically allow us there. We are very appreciative of that, because we give all our callers and our guests, the equal respect. Deacon?
Yes, morning again.
Yeah, good morning again. Sorry, boy, we don't know what happened. We tried to get you ad nauseum, but we're just having issues. Let's hope.
And I waited for the call.
Yes. Let's hope we can navigate. So Deacon, we talk about the environment briefly, and so let's segue into the political scene. We know, Deacon, we also seen what's taking place with our people. A lot of pushback or concern about the killing by the police. And so, do you have any concern, Deacon?
I do. I'm wearing black at the moment, and I support the police. I must tell you that my mother's brother was the commissioner of police at Independence, and I've grown up close to the police. I'm a strong supporter of law and order, especially when it comes to the environment. I wish the police would do more to enforce the environmental laws. But I say that to say that I would never be against good quality policing. But it just seems to me that since the beginning of this year, there's been a number of incidents of police killings of human beings, where it seems to me that the police could have aimed not to kill, but to wound. There's a policy that the police force has called the excessive force policy. They are allowed to use as much force as is necessary to apprehend the person. Any more force than that is called excessive force, and that is a crime. Now, I just can't believe that from January until now, the police could have killed 100 people.
106 up to the 28, which was yesterday.
I stand corrected.
And we just heard from a caller. He is in the Grand Pen area, and he said that one person was killed by the police last night. He's saying his report on it. He's saying that the person was in his sleep. We don't know, but that's what's coming from the command. And that one would not have been counted on the 106. So at least we can say one more gone up there. So 107
yeah.
to date.
If an armed man challenges the police in such a way that the only way the policeman can defend himself and apprehend the man is to kill the man, well, so be it. But there are several things that I don't like. I don't like the fact that the policy seems to be to shoot to kill. And this would be encouraged by the Prime Minister, who announced that either you're going to meet the judge or you're going to meet your maker. There's no in between. And it seems to me that certainly the police, I assume that when they learn how to use firearms, they learn how to aim. And so when they aim, they don't have to aim for the head. They don't have to aim for the heart. They can aim to wound and to disarm. But that doesn't seem to be the instructions that they are under.
Good. So you're. Go ahead. Go ahead, Deacon. Go ahead. I
was going to say. So therefore, I have an objection to a policy that, to quote an earlier Jamaican Prime Minister, who advised the police not to recite any beatitudes to the criminals, but basically to kill.
Who was that again? Which Prime Minister was that again, Deacon Espute? Please remind me.
I forget you. I forget you're a young man. I forget you. I forget you young people.
Well, the history is there. The history is there, but I just want you to repeat it now.
No history. His name is Hugh Lawson Shero. And basically what he was saying was that the police must shoot first and ask questions.
And there is also an attendant situation there, Deacon, as it relates to Buster and the Coral Garden issue with the Rastafarian as well. So it seems to be a pattern.
I am not claiming any pattern. I'm just saying that we must be very careful when we train our police or security forces to give them the right instructions. And the instructions must be what is in the law and in the policy. And that is, you must use enough force to subdue the person, to arrest the person, to defend yourself, but you don't have to kill the person. No, I think that this policy to kill, shoot to kill, is an admission of failure. It's an admission that if you capture the person, arrest them, and take them into custody, the justice system seems to be unable to take them before the courts and convict them. And so it's an admission of failure to just cut through that and just say, just kill them and be done with it. What I also object to is calling them criminals. Now, you can't, a criminal is a person who has been convicted of a crime in a court of law. Before that, you are called a suspect, and you have the presumption of innocence. That is what our Constitution says.
That's true.
And so to call people that the police kill criminals is unjust.
Who have never been convicted.
It is false. Who have never been convicted. You cannot call such a person a criminal. It is an improper use of the English language. And at law, it is a slander and a calumny and a libel. You cannot call a person a criminal who has not been convicted. That you have to call him a suspect. Okay? And so to kill suspects before they are brought before the court there are other names for it. And so I am wearing black because I support the police. But I also support truth and I support justice. And if supporting truth and justice means I have to criticize the police, then I'm afraid I will have to criticize the police. But I will not only criticize the police, I have to criticize the people that give the police orders. And the police, if they are in fact involved in extrajudicial killing, they are not doing so on their own authority. They haven't given instructions to do that.
My God.
And therefore, we have to not only criticize the police for doing so, but we have to criticize the people that gave them the orders to do so.
Indeed. We're talking to Roman Catholic Deacon Peter S. Pute. He's also a political commentator, and he watched the thing, he watched things from a particular perspective. Peter is somebody who is going to call it as he sees it. And you have been hearing him talking about some very riveting situation. He just made mention that what the police is doing, they have been given order. He thinks they have been given order in his view. And he also talk about, how the force order should be carried out and so on. The law, the rule of law should be upheld at all time. Peter, I want to thank you very, very much for being so, eloquent in putting that forward in simple terms so all Jamaicans can understand. Peter, we're in election 2025. And do you
sorry to interrupt you. Before you ask me the question, let me make the link between what I just said and what you are asking me.
Yes.
This is the election season. Every election up until now, the two parties are faced with a situation of high crime and a high murder rate. Even though we say the murder rate has declined, it has declined from being the third highest murder rate in the world to probably the 10th highest murder rate in the world. It's still high. Now, the government is able to boast that they have brought down the murder rate. But you bring down the murder rate by using the means of the police shooting down everybody they think might be a criminal. Now, this is not the way to do it. I must tell you, my brother, I do not believe that if this was not an election season, you would be having these kinds of police killings. I think these police killings are an effort by the government, the ruling party, to be able to claim that they have brought down the murders and therefore vote for me. This is part of the election campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And I repudiate it. I think that it is not the way to run an election campaign. You do not put up yourself as being tough policing and vote for me because I will bring down the murder rate by killing people who are not convicted of any crime.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I really, I'm upset about it.
Good. Now, where we are, bear with me, because we started the discussion with Deacon Espute. We had some issues, and indeed, it is very important that we talk to Deacon Espute. You see, my interest and why I'm so happy in having this discussion with Deacon Espute is Deacon Espute is not one of those everyday commentator that you hear all over the place every single day, and is a man who has a independent thought process, so I really like to get this, because certainly the Christian faith that he subscribed to underpin his credibility in basically ensure that he, like myself, speaks truth to power no matter who the guy is. So let me just bring back on Deacon Espute. Hi, Deacon.
I'm here.
Yes, thanks.
Morning again.
Thanks, and good morning again. Thanks for continuing the discussion with Deacon. Let's move quickly into some real basic issues. Of course, we know it's election 2025. It's a matter of months, if not weeks, away from here. There are a lot of things within recent times that seems to be plaguing the Prime Minister. Certainly, one could even describe the Prime Minister as being embattled. With his filing cannot be certified. A lot of things that he would have promised, including, fixed election day, term limit, and so on. He has reneged on all of those. Do you believe that the Prime Minister, Mr. Holness, is fit for purpose to offer himself for a third term, Mr. Espute?
Well, the way the politicians have written the Constitution,
mm-hmm.
A person can offer themselves, a convicted criminal can offer themselves to be Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing in the Jamaican Constitution forbidding convicted criminals from being elected.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, there is nothing in the Constitution to prevent somebody accused of criminal activity of being elected.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fact. Both the PNP and the JLP are using this because Minister Dalrymple Philibert was convicted
mm-hmm.
recently, and she was able to contest the seat that she had resigned from and won.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gentleman going to run for the PNP who has been convicted of drug offenses not once but twice.
Mm-hmm.
And he is not from running for public office.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote a column a few weeks ago
mm-hmm.
asking whether it was too much to ask that our politicians be squeaky clean.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody took me on. Not even you called me to discuss the matter on your program.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it is clear to me that the Jamaican people don't mind if convicted criminals are in Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
And if people suspected of high crimes can contest elections.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that is the legal situation. I personally do not think that persons who are convicted should be sitting in Parliament or should run for election.
Mm-hmm.
Or that people who are suspected of crimes, accused of crimes, should be able to run for public office. But that is not the present legal situation.
Mm-hmm.
The same politicians are the ones who have not made that illegal.
Mm-hmm.
And this is part of the problem,
Mm-hmm.
When the politicians make laws for politicians, you're going to expect them to make the laws to suit themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they certainly have done so when it comes to our little beloved country, Jamaica.
Good. But
our politicians have made the laws to allow them to do what they want to do.
I take your point, and I quite understand what you said just now, Deacon Espiot. However, let's look at it. You have the top job in the country that two persons are offering themselves for. Mark Golding on the PNP side, Andrew Holness on the Jamaica Labour Party side. There are some things that the Constitution speaks to, that, you know, those two persons, their filing should be they should not just be filed, but it should be certified and gazetted. That means gazetted and published, right? On one hand, we have Mark Golding, who has done that year on year. On the other hand, right, whatever the JLP and Mr. Holness want to say, the truth that we have before us is that for going almost 4 years now, his own cannot be certified. When you look at the two that are going head to head in terms of leading their party, you believe that that should disqualify outside of the law. You know, we know the laws, you just explained, but just the moral of it and so on. How do you look at that, Mr. Espiot?
You know, I'm going to be very, very clear in how I answer you. How is it that we don't know why the filings have not been certified? Surely the Integrity Commission long ago could have come to the public and said the reason why we cannot certify Prime Minister Holness's filings is because of A, B, and C. Not only that, they could have said these 8 persons are under investigation for illicit enrichment. Why is it that the Integrity Commission can't tell us? Because the same politicians have put a gag order on them. And therefore, we are sitting here knowing that the Prime Minister's filings cannot be certified, but we don't know why. And we hear that there are 8 people who are under investigation.
Yes, the Prime Minister included and 7 others.
And we don't know why. We don't know who they are. And they are going to come up, I'm sure, to be elected again in a few weeks. So that bothers me, that the illicit 8 are going to be probably, more than likely, putting themselves up for election for us to vote for them. And we don't know who they are, where we only know one of the 8. And why is this? It's because the same politicians have passed a law that says that if the Integrity Commission talk the truth, the Integrity Commission people will be locked up and put in jail.
My God. As they say, so what can go so?
But that, I tell you exactly that is what it is. So, so the same politicians that are the ones who are committing the crimes are the same ones who make the laws that can hide the fact that they're committing the crimes. So we have a problem in Jamaica of profound conflict of interest. You cannot have the fox guarding the hen house. You cannot have thieving politicians making laws about thieving. They will simply make it hard for anybody to convict them of a crime. And indeed, not since Jack Smith Jr. has a politician been convicted of a crime in this country.
Okay, before him, I think we have a gentleman there on JLP side that was called Puss Lewis. Cleve Lewis, commonly called Puss Lewis, because he was convicted. This is Jamaica, Deacon. So a name would have to be coined.
But you see, it is for civil society. It's for people like you and me to come out in public and say, no more of this. We will not have a law that is supposed to guarantee an end to corruption in politics, where the Integrity Commission cannot talk.
I try my best, Deacon. But some people, because you talk about the things and so on, and they say you're PNP. They can't accuse me of being PNP, and that's fine. That's fine. But what I will say to them is that it's under one government at a time. It's under one government at a time.
For 30 years. I've been writing the Gleaner for 32, 33 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I have been through PNP, government, JLP, government, PNP, government, JLP, government, and everyone, they accuse me of being on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Because I criticize, which is fine.
Yes.
It means I'm doing my job.
Indeed.
If they didn't accuse me of being PNP, then it means I would be sucking up to the JLP, which is what so many of your colleagues do.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So we have to be very careful that we speak truth to power. And when you speak truth to power, you know, we just finished, not Friday gone, but the Friday before.
Yes.
I think we called it Good Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Because a certain man spoke truth to power.
Indeed.
And they crucified him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, because some of us want to follow that man, you see?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to speak truth to power and expect we're going to be crucified too.
Yes.
Because when he said to take up his cross and our cross and follow him, there's only one direction to go, you know.
One.
And that is to Calvary.
One.
So we are headed. I am headed to Calvary. I know that. But then that is my choice because I am following the man that carried the cross. But I also know that Calvary was not the end. I know that after 3 days, he rose again. So even though that I know I'm heading for Calvary, I also know I'm heading for Easter. So that gives me the strength to carry on.
Indeed.
But you see, an election is coming, and people of goodwill will want to know who to vote for. And, you know, nobody is all evil. Let us be very frank. The JLP is not totally evil, and the PNP is not totally good. No, anybody you vote for, you have to swallow your spit. Because if you vote for the PNP, you are voting for the party of Trafigura. And you're voting for the party that almost gave away the Goat Islands to the Chinese. You know? So we have to be very clear that neither party is really worth our vote. That's the first point. But the second point is that if we have to vote, then let us vote for the lesser of the two evils. That is really, I'm afraid, where we are now. Both sides are evil. But we are called upon. Nobody wants to choose evil.
Good.
But I'm afraid you have to choose evil. And you have to choose the lesser of the two.
Indeed, Deacon Esput, I have a final question for you because I want to get in a few calls. Deacon, certainly the Jamaica Labour Party, through its leader, Andrew Holness, and its leader, Andrew Holness, they have been at the helm of this country for 9 years on the trot. Based on the last numbers that we're seeing, poverty is higher now than it was in 2016. We have seen where the murder rate for 9 consecutive years, averaging about 1,300 over 1,300 plus. We have also seen where, you know, the health system is in a quagmire. We have seen where, you know, the Prime Minister is under pressure from a lot of accusation. So we have a template there that we can look at for the Prime Minister. On the other hand, Mark Golden, what we know of Mark Golden, he being a successful lawyer, a successful banker, and so on. We have not had anything untoward against him. He has never gotten a chance. Do you believe that the people of Jamaica will look at those things and make it a part of the choice to choose, as you would call them, the better of the two evil?
I have the lesser of the two
the lesser,
evils.
sorry, I'm sorry, the lesser.
I have to look at things in a balanced way. I have to look at the good that both sides could do, and I have to look at the badness or the wickedness that each side can do. And I am noticing that, you know, you have to listen to how I think. the party that has the most garrisons is the PNP, right? The two parties were the ones who voted to have the gag order on the Integrity Commission. The two parties have failed to have public declaration of assets of MPs and public servants, right? As far as I'm concerned, both parties are the same. They both have gangs, they both have garrisons, they both do intimidation. Now, it is true that Mark Golding it doesn't seem to be tainted by what happened in the past. Maybe Andrew Holness has,
and that's where I want you to stay, and that's where I want you to stay. This
present government has stated they've put forward a new Education Act and a new Education Code that seems to wish to take away the church schools from the churches, right? So we church people are saying that we cannot support a party that wants to take away church schools from the churches. Either that, or we'll remove our schools from the public domain and make them private before we allow the government to take them over. So there are reasons to vote against the JLP, right? And there are reasons to vote against the PNP. This is why I keep saying that we are put in a situation where we have to choose evil, but we have to choose the lesser of the two evils.
Good.
And I think each of us will have to decide who that is.
We'll have to decide. But what I'm saying is that remember now that what you have a situation where one has been there for 9 years. So you get a look at him. On the other hand, you have the resume of the other that you have to look at. You can say, listen, I am prepared to say, all right, you have never gotten a chance. Maybe even those things that you talked about, some of them.
I have never heard. All I have heard Mr. Golding say is that if he is elected, he will allow contracts that use the Contracts Commission, the Office of the Contractor General, when it was a standalone office, used to publish on its website all the contracts entered by the government with whoever they entered it into. Under this government, that has become a top secret, a state secret. We are not privileged to know who the government has entered contracts with. This is part of the secrecy culture. What Mark Golding has said is if he becomes Prime Minister, he's going to pass a law that is going to make that public again.
So isn't that a wonderful
but he has not said he's going to make the declaration of assets public. He has not said he's going to remove the gag clause. So whereas he has said one thing that is good, there are 10 other things that he has not said.
So you're calling,
and that is why I unlike you, my brother, I am well aware that both sides are evil and wicked.
So right? Therefore,
I am not going to come on public radio and declare that one side is good. I can't do that.
All right. So therefore,
the two sides are evil and wicked.
Good. So therefore, it is incumbent on the PNP to look at its manifesto and to look at, for example, the things that you have just enumerated and see how they can look.
But, sir,
they can deal with some of those things.
In my columns in the Gazina for the last 2 years, calling on the PNP to do exactly that. Put it in your manifesto that if you are elected, you are going to remove the gag clause, that you are going to make all assets declarations public, that you're going to start protecting the environment in reality and not just in words, right? You can make yourself a national hero if you would simply end the corruption in the country. Look, we've had this Patterson report now out for over 2 years, which has given the roadmap to how education can be fixed and how children of poor people can get top quality education.
But there you go, as I end Deacon.
This government has parked it. It has not been debated. Neither, for that matter, have I heard the PNP say very much about it. And of course, it is not up to the PNP to debate it in Parliament because they don't have the authority to do that.
So therefore,
they have words that they can they can talk outside of Parliament.
So therefore, you would have to basically hold Mr. Holness to a lot of this. He's the man, and he's the man at the wicket.
Certainly. The JLP government, including Holness and including the ministers of education that he has had, including himself, have to be blamed for the terrible state of our education system.
Indeed.
But you know, they inherited the system from the PNP. The PNP also created a terrible education system.
All right.
And they did not change it for the 17 years they were in power. And the PNP has not changed it for whatever number of years they have been in power.
The JLP.
Two of them are two peas in a pod.
All right, Deacon. Thanks a lot.
And I'm waiting to hear the PNP say that when we are elected, we are going to implement the Patterson report.
All right, Doc. I think they have said it, but we wait for more. Thanks a lot, Dr. Deacon Dispute. God bless you, and certainly we'll have you again because we enjoyed the discussion. I'm sure my listeners do as well. Let's go to the final break here at News Talk 93 FM. Conrad O'Brien, the fireman, your host, through with your cause. So we're going to ask you to just get to the point. We don't have a lot of time. We're in the final half an hour. Before I go to the phone lines, which are engaged, fact since 1944, the JLP and the PNP has spent 40 years in government and 39 years respectively. So the JLP is in office 1 year more than the PNP, and the government of the Jamaica Labour Party built 77,521 houses, while the People's National Party built 115,934 houses. The PNP has built 38,422 more houses with 1 year less in government. All right, so those are some of the facts that are coming out there. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, welcome caller.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Hi, Mark. How are you doing? I'm fine, thanks.
I don't know why that should be an argument. The only thing the Prime Minister built more than the PNP is apartment and uptown Kingston and all over Jamaica. Apartment, 40 and 50 and 60 and $100 million apartment. So when it comes to who can build more house, PNP build more house, the Prime Minister build more apartment.
All right.
Where I want to go quickly. It's a consequence of that unfortunate shooting. I think it was 2003 out in Flankers.
Yes.
Where the police shoot up one taxi early morning, and the driver was killed, and the three ladies who were going to the market. Because they thought it was his son who they claim normally take the vehicle at night time and go commit crime. His father's vehicle. So they thought his son was in, and so that early in the morning they shoot up the car. The JLP demonstrate that Changa, Sinclair and Dennis, all them go out there and demonstrate. And they support the people out there. They say the PNP police send police come kill off their family. And a PNP police not PNP police. That's how the JLP won. When they want to accept it, yes or no, to shoot. That's how. It's a consequence of that they won the flankers division. At one time,
the people actually turned because there's the police kill and they were accused of being PNP police.
Yes, sir. One time, Adams went PNP police. Tuesday went PNP police. Cowboy went PNP police. Yes, they must remember. The Jamaicans for Justice was born under the Jamaica Labour Party in opposition. The JLP in opposition. Indicom was born under the JLP in opposition. The lady who started Jamaicans for Justice, the most prominent one, Caroline Gomes, after Bruce won 2007, 2008, she was awarded the Order of Jamaica.
That is
she
true.
was awarded the Order of Jamaica. Okay? So when what's his name? I think Raymond James, the Federation man, he spoke out about the police.
Ron James.
And he no longer have a job because they say I'm a PNP police.
I saw him recently, and the man is saying that, listen, he's going through the pangs of hell because he's denied, I think, must say 15 or 25% of his income, and he's saying that things are difficult for him. Sorry to be excluding his business on radio, but
when they were negotiating for increased salary, improved salary, there were PNP police. So the Jamaica Labour Party, Mr. Morgan, I don't know if he's speaking for himself, but
it seems so, because he's not getting any. The party don't seem to be throwing any weight behind him.
But the party need to show leadership.
Mm-hmm.
So if the party not say anything but silent mean consent.
Absolutely. They need to come out and say, listen, we're distancing ourselves from Senator Morgan's statement. We have not heard that.
They need to tell us, since when them love police. They need to stop using the police as convenient. They use them conveniently.
You remember the days when Renita and the police officers could not go into Western Kingston? And when it has to say that we're going to pay dearly, you remember all those things?
No, I didn't remember that one, sir. I didn't remember that one. I didn't remember that one. I wonder if Mr. Morgan remember. Probably he's too young. He was too young to remember.
Yes, maybe.
You understand? So I don't know since when them love the police. Jamaicans for justice. Every day them out here when the JLP was in opposition. Till after they win, the lady gets order of Jamaica. Order of Jamaica. What is needed now? Everybody to pull back. Do not set up the police against Jamaica for justice. Don't set up Jamaica for justice against the police. And the police against the citizens, and the citizens against the police. That is what Mr. Morgan is doing. And anything you sow, Senator Morgan, you are going to reap it. Anything at all you sow, you are going to reap it. But guess what? The country, not the PNP, the country will not allow you to drag us back into the 70s. The tribal style politics that you people love so much. But the country is not going to allow Mr. Morgan and the JLP to drag us back into the 70s and the 80s. You understand me? We are not going back there. We are not going back there. And that is why we want leadership to come in, the JLP to come in, the bro God needs to step in with them big clocks and say, listen, enough is enough. And if they love color so much, what color should the parliamentarians wear in parliament every Tuesday? And what should they wear in the Senate? Since we have at least 6 or 7 MP who is being under investigation for illicit enrichment, what color them wear in the Senate? Both PNP and JLP, what color they must wear? And what color they must wear in the Senate on Friday? That is the question I'm asking the JLP. What color should the parliamentarians wear in Parliament, and what color should we wear out here in the fight against corruption?
And to demand who they are. Thanks a lot. All right, blessings. Let's continue to take the calls. All right. You're listening to Straight Up right here and News Talk 93 FM with yours truly, Conrad O'Brien, the fireman. We go up until 12. We have a few minutes. Let's take the calls. Hello, welcome, caller.
Morning, sir.
Hi, morning, Mr. Lewis. How you doing, man?
Yeah, all right, Yeah, man. First, I want to say I agree a lot of what Mr. Esbut was saying. I touch the environmental part first. I think both parties, they have messed up big time when it comes to environmental matters. When you look at Kingston Harbour, it's probably one of the most polluted harbour in the world, right? And both political parties, they have done very little. When you see the amount of sewage and waste coming from factories and they're going straight into the Caribbean Sea. No farmer research to say, all right, how can we use this sewage to produce electricity, produce fertilizer, or whatever? When you look at what been happening in the cockpit country, I remember Dixon, he's supposed to be our old farmer. He was one of them were up in the cockpit defending the mining out because these guys wanted to mine out the certain areas that you would call the restricted areas to damage the water source is one thing. And it wasn't the Dixon or others. They would have mined it out. What the politicians them doing is just bowing to the big guys from abroad. Oh, we want these metals. And they just bow to them. You know, I would feel good if we see people like Chow. This guy in Burkina Faso. Guys like those in charge. We say, no, we're not bow to you know. Because a lot of times these big guys that come and say, well, we want Goat Island, we want this. And nobody cares about what's going on.
Mr. Lewis, and at the fear of being accused there, which is fine. The truth is that, and let's call a spade, because, you know, we have to carry the narrative a particular way. The truth is that Andrew Holness have been Prime Minister of Jamaica for 9 years, and he has not shown the mettle to deal with these things that you are talking about. Mark Golding, on the other hand, hold on. Mark Golding, on the other hand, have not given a chance. Mark Golding had basically outlined a number of things that he would do. Put more on it, pile more up on it, and basically say to him that, listen, Mark, these are the things that we are looking at. But it is certainly a conclusion that we all can draw from what we saw of Mr. Holness so far. He has not delivered.
Yeah, we all know that. We all see that.
So we have to basically put the discussion in perspective.
Yeah, but the fact is here that both of them are fail.
Not saying no, not saying that both parties has not committed infractions. However, we are saying that, listen, there is something there that we can use. The two persons who are there now, we have seen Holness there, and Holness get 9 going 10 years at the trot, and he has not delivered. So how do we do? Continue to reward failure?
No, we're not saying that, because I prefer.
No, I'm asking you know.
Golding. No, I prefer Golding. But what I'm saying, you have to put the thing in perspective.
Yes, ma'am.
If I were going to choose somebody when I feel I would run the environmental section and run it well, it would be Raymond Price.
Well, maybe. You never know. Raymond is a part of the PNP. He may very well get the portfolio. I have to cut Mr. Lewis, or just close out for me. I have a couple more I want it before I go out.
Yeah, you can cut.
No, man. You made a point? All right, thanks. Yeah. Let's continue to take the calls. All right, thanks, Mr. Lewis. All right, very understanding there. We have a couple of minutes to go. Let's see if we can take the 2 more that are there. Hello, caller?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Hi, Milton. How you do? Run fast, you know?
Not too bad. JFJ, sir. The police, according to the police, they have given me JFJ the permission to hold a peaceful demonstration, right?
Yes, they have.
But the blue people, why they now just continue with the green and leave it, but then put blue green, because we know what they are for, you know. Do those people, the counter, what them call them, counterfeit, do they get permission from the police?
I don't know if they had applied for any permission, but what the man who had called for this, he basically retreated or recanted and said he's just asking people to wear color in their vehicle and so on. He is not asking them to assemble. But that wasn't what was communicated to us, certainly. We gathered there was both O'Brien Chang and Marlon, it was carried that they were basically asking for a counter protest.
Me tell you, the Labour Party, you are saying that they should the leader should disassociate. The party are going from Marlon. The Labour Party bent on using communication to gain the third term, and you still don't understand what I go on.
See it here, the Observer is carrying on its front page this morning, blue versus black. JFJ planned protests against police today. Spark call for pro constabulary expression. All right, so that's what is there. So
no man, team, they should just go on with me. Kevin O'Brien Chan should have told them to wear the green man, the party color, and done. Right, so I hope if they are trying to obstruct the peace with the JFJ, I think the police should lock them up. Second thing now, sir, the Public Service Commission. I saw it name now.
Yes.
Like the one who recommend the reinstatement of
Police Services Commission, yes?
Public, not service, and the Public Service Commission.
Yes,
They are the one who recommend that Mrs. Fallowen be reinstated, right? After the court appeal showed the constitutional, where the constitutional court ruling, right?
Yes.
So I think that I don't think those people are thinkers in this regard, Not overall in this regard. Because they know there are six parliamentarian indications so that they are from the ruling party.
Yeah, but
and the investigation
but on the other hand, Milton, as I leave you, the fact of the matter is that Mrs. Lowenthing went to the court. It went to the appeal court, and the appeal court ruled a particular way, and she's back in her job. Have to leave it there, Milton.
No, but that doesn't stand to reason, big man.
Sir, we operate under the rule of law.
That doesn't stand to reason.
I know that we can basically retire people in the public interest and so.
Anyway, you know what? That's the other that I'm saying. So with the greater respect, they have forgotten their in thinking cap in this regard.
All right, Milton, I want to take two more
but in this regard, sir. No disrespect to them.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, I want to see if I can take this two before I go. All right, caller, hello? Caller?
Hello, Conrad.
Hi, morning.
Morning, Dina here, man.
Hi, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I can't afford Deacon to go away with that interview you had with him, because when he compared the both parties as being corrupt, the both parties are not the same. We have seen since 1950. In 1950, George said Malcolm was a Minister of Education. He was not only accused of corruption, he was charged under the court. He was stealing from the Ministry of Education.
Yes.
He got 12 months in hard labor in prison. Right then, by 1954, we saw L.L. Simmons being charged again, get 15 months in prison.
Yes.
That's another JLP Minister of Education. Shot by 1960 to 67. By the case come up in court in 1967. Should end in but it's also end in 1971. Burt, another Minister of Education.
Burt, yes.
The JLP. Well, he ran away on his court day and has never been found until today. Bringing up traffic Gura is. Trafigura was no scandal.
Yes, I just allow Peter to talk until I should have corrected him, because Trafigura, in my view, was certainly no comparison, no scandal, because not 1 cent of Jamaican taxpayer funds were misappropriated, not a dollar.
If I feel to give you a contribution towards your program, but my company say that I should not give contribution to radio stations, and I breach it, I am the person who grant you the gift. But the person who received the gift is not corrupt. The person is on a hand, he would know what the rules of my company.
But just remind the people about the other. You stop at Arthur Burt. Remind the people of the other.
1994. J.G. Smith went to prison 5 years hard labor again for robbing money from the Ministry of Labor out of the farmer program money.
What year did Puss Lewis went to prison?
Puss Lewis was I think he was in the 60s again, yeah.
No man, it was later than that, man.
Later than that?
Yeah, man. He was. I think he was just before Jag or so, or thereabout. Thereabout, but we can pick up on the issue. It's very nice talking to you, Dino. Anything else that you want to contribute?
Yeah, I'll come to the JFJ. I believe to every action there's a reaction, and what I would love to see the JFJ does. Because for a time there was a period of time when the police hands got tied, because after this, Adam started on with a crew which was trying to clean up the crime. Both internationals they tied Adam's hand and put him on a and bench him when he couldn't carry out the operations anymore. So, and then we are seeing a series when the gunmen were killing our police. I would love to see the JFJ say justice that good to the citizens must go as far as the police force. So when there are massive, excessive police killing, they should come out equally and support, in support of the police also. Can't be one-sided.
That is so true. But one of the things that you also have to bear in mind is that they both have different mandate. The human rights group basically have a different mandate where they look at police police killing and so on. That is more their mandate. You understand? The police have a duty to basically deal with the rule of law. The JFJ will look at how they go about carrying out their business. Right, so
that's true.
So you don't have to be one against the other, because as I reiterate, I've been saying all day that I lost a brother to gunmen. So I am all for the police to go out and do their work. However, for me, it's a big concern with all of 107, based on what we heard from Africa.
Oh, that's a high figure. That's a
very high figure. 107 to date. We are now at the 29th of April. You know, so those are the questions that we're asking. But all in all, you know, we hope that good sense prevail. We're seeing where the Observer is beaming on its front page here, blue versus black, and you know that.
Come out to say, and the JLP come out, the PNP is anti-police. It's not anti-police. We want to see crime. Everybody in the country wants to see crime down. And
yes.
Everybody will applaud if crime goes down. But that we can't have such. It doesn't look good as a nation to see we have such a high amount of police. So there's no way of apprehending anyone. The only way of doing this is analyze them.
And that was one of the point. That's one of the point that Peter Espude made in his opening salvo. You know, and he said today that he's also wearing black. You know, in support of JFJ. Making the call for, or concern rather, about the high number of police killing. I have to leave you there, Dino.
Yeah,
up on time. All the best. Thanks. Yeah, it's good hearing from you, man. We'll chat. Good. All right. So, just let me just share with you quickly on the front page of the Dino here. It's saying loggers warn. Judge stresses reckless online commentary could trigger contempt charges delay in Donaldson case. And on the front page again, it's saying Golden fires back at Prime Minister dismissal of the PNP housing plan. All right, let me just say thanks to our guests that join us today. And oh, we have 2 minutes. Okay, good. All right, so I can settle down a little bit. I was rushing. All right, so I want to say thanks to all of you who have joined us